Hello everyone, my name is Armin. Welcome to my gaming channel. I'll be continuing my Let's Play series of Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode I've checked the basement of Brackenbury Sanitarium to check out the accounts of Lady Key activity. It turned out that one of the patients was a Lady Key spy, and from talking to him it looked like it was the person who caused Cayla's awakening. Well, it just ended with an uproar. A whole hell went loose there. The patients got controlled by that person and, well, I've been attacked. Now, let's go check out what other activities the Lady Key has there in store. So let's move.
All right then.
What do we have here?
Hello!
Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You are summoned to the Hadret House where Lady Webb wishes to meet you as soon as possible. Not much you can do in these parts without Lady Webb knowing about it. At least that's what I'd always heard. Yes, it's true. How did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Tell me about Lady Webb. You do not know Lady Webb? She's... well, no one has seen her exactly in a long time, but she's the mistress of Dunryd. Has been for as long as anyone can remember. He pauses, eyeing passers-by with suspicion quietly. He continues. She's supposed to be old, or older than anybody, and she never leaves her room. Some say she's wasted away and she's just a pile of bones kept animated by dark magics. Well, a real shadow, I must say. Oh well. She's still at it, best anyone can tell. Learning things, keeping us safe. Pulling the strings behind the throne too, it's said. Has a ring of ciphers doing her bidding, telling her everything that goes on. You do wrong in this country, before you go asking the gods for forgiveness, best you ask Lady Webb first. Lol. Second after the gods, it looks like. Was Dunryd. A whole mess of ciphers run out of the Hadret House. They make it their business to keep the peace, but they don't like you to see them do it. Problems in this city have a way of going away on their own, and when that happens, you can make a pretty good guess as to why. Where can I find Hadret House? It's just over there, my lady, in the southwest corner of Brackenbury. Very well. So let's go talk to Lady Webb and see what she has to tell me. The older robed man. As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow stands, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens and you feel for a moment as thought you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I will wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intended to convert They committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places its hands on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely the gods know better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
Is such a thing possible?
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain. There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely. Something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. Okay, let's continue further to Lady Webb. Okay, let's see in here. A lot of Dunryd agents. Kern's wasting his time with those disappearances, blah blah blah. Lady Webb. A link, yes, I need certain of it.
Hello!
Curran. The Orland man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His weary hair stands nearly on end, and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers. Cadnula, Gilded Veil, all the voices indeed. How did you know? The Orland grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it is my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downward. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunryd Row? I was invited here by Lady Webb. Curran cocks his head to one side as if trying to get a better look at you. Forgive me. She doesn't take many visitors, but the ones she does invite are a fascinating lot. I have always marveled at her new choices. Nothing common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what it is she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with the guards out front. The city may not understand her value, but the Duke certainly does. What are you so busy with? His small furry hands gestured expansively at the papers before him. Hollowborn, growing unrest, and the ever-present political intrigues. With so many missing souls, missing persons are the least of our concerns these days. It looks like as thought you could use some help. So many secrets and trail in this city. You have to turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen, or someone missing. He flicks an ear. Unfortunately, we haven't the time to investigate them all. I am supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher, to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. Why can't you look into these cases? He pins his air back. A matter of priorities, says Lady Webb. Many problems in Defiance Base these days. Problems with more than a few missing persons at stake. I'll look into it. Where should I start? Scanning bounces on the balls of her feet. Just like one of those valiant who-do-its. Read a few of those on the road. Helps pass the time. I feel like she's talking about criminal literature. He grins, razor tipped teeth showing between his lips. Copper Lane, Andra's Gift, and Brackenbury, of course. They talk to the ones who reported the disappearances, the only ones who know enough to care. Laura, Oli, and Elga. Did you find any leads? Not yet. No obvious connection between the victims, which is what makes me wonder, so... He runs his hand along the length of one ear. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects, less scrupulous types in particular. He pauses, deep in concentration. Seems too risky for the sanitarium, but one never knows. He lays a hand. Talk first to the people who reported our victims missing. Maybe you will catch something I missed. Who's missing? 2 men, 1 woman, Landry, Kendall, and Cora. Tell me about Landry. Best to ask Ollie. Seems they drank together at the Salty Mass in Ondra's Gift. Also seems that no one else knew him well enough to miss him. One of his ears twitches. Tell me more about Kendall. Reported missing by Elga, a dwarf who carried traces of... Closes his eyes and sniffs the air. Fine wine and young dandies. Plenty of time and money to spend on her pleasures. Try Brackenbury. Tell me more about Cora. Sister of Laura, one of the merchants at the Copperling Bazaar. Not the kind of person who would just disappear, it seems. I'll let you know what I find. Farewell. So Lady Webb is upstairs. Let's go talk to her now. Is it just me or there is a... Let's see. Perhaps I could...
Just say the word.
Look into that box in there.
Quick and quiet.
Let's see. A bunch of money and a potion.
Hey.
Nice. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly wrinkled fingers. Their flesh stretched thin to near translucent with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and candleburs dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Well, if she... The reincarnation of Eotas looks like a child's cantrip to summoning me, then I wonder. This is exactly what I would picture Alla's mother to be like. Lol.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
There's someone I need to find.
Not just any someone, though. Someone in the service of the Leaden Key. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend. Which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
I ran across a man in one of the ruins. It's important that I find him again. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker, and her face goes still, and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground. The pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. It must have been a special occasion.
Like some sort of a holiday. What can you tell me about Theos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it.
Well, that's new.
What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism.
For someone who favors rules and order, that sounds more like nepotism.
That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know so much about Theos?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
Well, considering that he had many lifetimes to do that, that's quite probable. What else is there to know about the Leaden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunryd Row will not stop you.
Okay, that sounds simple enough.
Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
There is something I can tell you about the Lady Key operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found tales in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious.
Well, considering the fact that he tried to kill me with someone else's hands.
He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep.
That's quite optimistic.
This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's all. Okay, very
Try
well.
your best not to die out there.
Well, that's the best I can do for sure. Okay, gotta level up. Now, Cayla. She's a chanter. I've made her specialize in mechanics and a little bit in lore. She's more like a little bit of a thieving character. She does tend to take things that don't belong to her, unless someone really needs it, or it will be cruel to take something from someone. Okay. But she's also a good-hearted person, a passionate person. And you will see that in the dialogue choices. Okay. Now, level 2 invocations. The one I'm making her in the combat a controlling character. I pick all types of crowd control abilities. This one is one of my favorites from the chanter repertoire. It paralyzes characters for 8 seconds standard, and in my case almost 12 because of my high intellect. So let's pick that, and here some utility upgrades. I'll pick deep pockets here, and done.
Hey.
Okay, my characters are a little bit beaten up, could use some rest. So I will go to a tavern, try to lick my wounds a little bit. After that, I'll check my journal and decide what to do next. I will either check the missing people out for Curran, or I will go after the Leaden Key.
Hey, pig! Hey, pig! Woohoo, pig! Look at him with his little tail.
Either the animal lover. Well, I myself, I'm an animal lover too, so that's fun. Just fun.
How do you do?
This dwarven woman is dressed and perfumed like she's a member of the nobility, but her sun-reddened skin and sweat-stained outfit suggest that she's been out here for quite some time. Afraid I don't have time just now. I'm investigating Kendall's disappearance. Eyebrows raised. The little Orlin finally got serious about this case, eh? Charming. I can't imagine why this kind of fellow would have disappeared on you. She rolled her eyes. Real funny. If you weren't here to help me find Kendall... Anyway, I'll tell you whatever I can. What do you need to know? Tell me about Kendall. What to tell? He was a pretty young lad. Not the brightest of the bunch, but always pleasant company. How do you know Kendall? Elga smirks. We met up from time to time over the past few months. It was just a fling, really. Wasn't going to last. She picks up the corner of her sleeve and looks away. He was a little fool, but a sweet little fool. What was Kendall doing before he disappeared? She laughed sadly. The worst blazing rendition of the general's speech from the Widow of the Woods that I've ever heard. She shakes her head. I love that fellow, but he was a tragic failure. Yet somehow he managed to get in with an acting troupe. When and where did you last speak to Kendall? A week ago. He came back to my house for a bit of fun. Afterwards we fell asleep, and when I woke up he was gone. No notes, nothing. Had you noticed anything different about Kendall lately? He started hanging out with a bunch of actors. Seemed alright, except for that woman. She scowls. That woman with her long, willowy legs and slender arms. Always came around wearing these low-cut dresses and impossible shoes. What was her name? Her expression hardens. I don't know. I never cared to learn it. She uncrosses her arms and lets them slowly fall to her sides. I didn't realize it. It might be important. That's all the questions I have right now. If you think of any more, you know where I'll be. Okay. One witness checked. So let's get a little bit of R&R. Oh, Ingrid, from Gilded Vale. Begging your pardon. Oh, it's you. It's good to see you. Well, we had a few rough days here, but then we found this place and they were kind enough to hire us both. Things have been wonderful. I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've done. Well, good that turned out good for them. It's hard work, but good wages. Can't complain.
Hail and well met.
Let's see your rooms. Perception and stealth, intellect and will. Intellect and will that it'll be. Okay. Let's check this guy here. Tristan. The young elf is dressed in gaudy robes and that he seems ready to cast off. He picks at the heavily broadened sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up at you. Did she send you to run me out of town? You can't tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Cyril I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puffs up his chest while glances at the exit. Luckily for you, today is my day off. I'm just here for a drink. He watches you and hesitates for several reasons. Finally, he gives a nervous chuckle. You had me for a moment. I wouldn't put it past her to send someone like you, though. Sarah's a courtesan over at the salty mast in Ondra's gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I found a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor and send him her way. They have a good time and Cyril takes her fee. And a little extra. He rubs his fingers together. 100 coppers here, a trinket there. It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies never notice anything's missing. Go on. Anyway, we always split the bounty, until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. She takes a necklace off of some noble. It's an Dunryd medallion. Damn, near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. She tugs at the gold chain around his neck, and even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. That's a hard thing. Tell me more about your situation. What do you want to know? What makes this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Glanfad with the Shattering Spear clan. We Glanfadans have protected Engwyfin ruins for thousands of years. It's the one true duty of the gods ask of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring on his pinky. But treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory and we left the wilds we dwelt in for generations. Most of my clansmates scattered towns around the Deerwood and probably live out on a crust of bread. He looks at his embroiled robes with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. Shattering Spear could go home. Tell me about Cyril. She's the courtesan at the Salty Mass over in Andra's Gift. She wasn't born too much, but she's done what she has in order to escape that. He gazes at the string of amber beads around his wrist. She's a good friend. He folds his arms to his trailing, wrinkled sleeves. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held to for generations. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I'll see about getting the medallion from Cyril. You'll find her at the Salty Mass. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying, so you have to go through Maya. He fidgets with his sleeve, but whatever you do, please don't hurt her. Okay, I don't intend to.
Hey.
Okay. Now we are over the 30 minutes mark, so I'll end the episode here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and let me know how you feel about my videos.
Hey.
And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks again, and see you around.